Hello students, today we are going to start with quadratic equations. So far we have learned that any quadratic equation can be written as y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a cannot be 0. The reason why a cannot be 0 is if a becomes 0, 0 into x squared, this whole part will become 0 and hence this will become a linear equation. Yes, b can be 0, c can be 0. I am now writing equals to 0, which means it can be 0. Okay, there will be no issue. It will still be a quadratic equation. Now, any quadratic equation, if you represent in graph, will be either concave up or concave down, or a smiling graph or a crying graph. How do we identify that any quadratic equation is a smiling graph? If the value of a is greater than 0, this value of a, if it is positive, it's a smiling graph. If it is negative, it is a sad graph. What if it is equals to 0? We have already covered that. It cannot be 0. Now you see this point, it cuts the y-axis. And if I want to find where does the equation cuts the y-axis, this is known as y-intercept. We know that at y-intercept, the value of x is equals to 0. If we try to substitute x is equals to 0 in the equation, we get a 0 whole square plus b 0 plus c, which means y will be equals to c. It means that this distance will be your c, or this distance will be your c. If you want to find where it cuts x-axis, in that case, x-intercept, so you have to put y is equals to 0. Now, if you put y is equals to 0 in this equation, y is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, the equation will become ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. It means we are trying to find, it means if this is a laughing graph or a concave up graph, if we try to solve this at y is equals to 0, y is equals to 0 is at this point and at this point, we can get maximum 2 answers. It can be 1 answer also, it can be 0 answer also. If we get 1 answer, it means it will just touch x-axis and bounce back. And if we get 0 answers, it means it will not touch x-axis. But the maximum value of x which we can get by solving this equation by putting y is equals to 0 is 2 answers. That's the maximum, and minimum is 0. Now we can solve this by 3 methods. What are they? The first one is splitting the middle term. The second method is the formula method. And the third one is CTS method, which is completing the square. Now, I prefer CTS method because it helps me to find the vertex of the quadratic equation. Now, we are going to talk about splitting the middle term. In splitting the middle term, we will learn about factorization. And once we are able to do this factorization, we will be able to find this part. Now, understand this part, these 2 points where it cuts the x-axis are also known as roots of the equation. Let's see more about splitting the middle term. So I am going to write factorization. When I solve factorization, it will help you to understand what I mean by splitting the middle term. So when I talk about factorization, if I say 36 as a number and I say that find the factors of it, you will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36 are the factors. So basically factorization means that if 1 and 36 are the factors, it means if you multiply 1 and 36, your answer will come as 36. 2 into 18, 36. 3 into 12, 36. 9 into 4, 36. And 6 square is 36. Which means that if I try to solve any quadratic equation, now let's take an example of a quadratic equation. If the quadratic equation is denoted by x square minus 5x plus 6, we have to understand that this is a quadratic expression. And when we equate it to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. It's not necessary that I have to equate it to 0 only. I can equate it to any number. But whenever this equals to come, it becomes an equation. First, I have to compare it with ax square plus bx plus c. We see that the value of a is 1, that the value of b is minus 5, and the value of c is 6. It's very important in any quadratic equation to find the value of a, b, c, and that has to be found along with the sign. Okay, so suppose if it is minus x square, normally when you write minus x square or x square, students get confused and write 0 in place of a. But remember, it will not be 0. If there is nothing in the coefficient written, it means it is 1. Okay, I'll give you one more example before I start factorization. Suppose if I say 2x square minus 9 and I say you to find the value of a, b and c. So the value of a will be 2. The value of b, you can clearly see that the x term is not here. So it will become 0 and the value of c becomes minus 9. Further, if I say one more example, minus 5x square. Yes, this is also a quadratic equation with a value minus 5, b as 0 and c as 0. So it's very easy to identify a, b, c in any of the quadratic equation. Okay. Now we will see how to solve using splitting the middle term. I'll take one straight question. X square minus 5x plus 6. So here I know that my a is 1, my b is minus 5 and my c is 6. I am going to write my first term and last term as it is, and I am going to split this minus 5 into two parts. Remember, do not confuse with x. Leave x right now as it is. Just remember this number along with the symbol. So basically you have to split b in two parts because this is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now remember, it should be split in such a way that the addition of these two numbers, suppose the numbers are x1 and x2, such that when you add these two numbers, it should become b, which is minus 5. And you multiply these two numbers, it should become a into c. A into c, in this case, it is 6. Okay. Now 6 means plus 6. Okay. Look here. I know that I have to get a plus in the product side. It means either my both this number will be plus or both this number will be minus. Then only I can get a plus in the product. Correct? I know that plus and minus and plus cannot be taken as x1 minus x1 plus x2 or plus x1 minus x2. That is not possible because by product will become negative. So first step is to see the symbol of the product. This will help you to identify what type of numbers you can take. Either you can take both plus, both minus. Now we know that either both have to be plus, both have to be, or both have to be minus. We know that if both of them are plus, then the addition of them has to be plus, but it is minus here. Therefore, we are left with only one option. See, we have this option. Either we can choose both plus, both minus, or one plus or one minus. This option is eliminated looking at this. This option is eliminated looking at this. It means that both the numbers will be minus. If the both numbers with minus, we have to start with a number lesser than 5. So it will be like 4. I can show you here. You can take 4 and 1. Minus 4 minus 1 will add up to 5 and it multiplied to 4. But our product is 6, so it cannot be. We can take minus 3 and minus 2. It's add up to minus 5 and multiply up to 6, and this is what we need. So we can write here 3x and 2x and both as minus. In this way, we go and find how does the splitting works. What are the two numbers which we can split b into? Now, take first two part here and these two terms separately. Try to solve this. If you see here, x is common. The remaining thing is x minus 3. Now, whatever I am writing x minus 3 here, just go and write it here x minus 3. To make it minus 2x, here I have to multiply it by minus 2, such that minus 2 into x becomes minus 2x. Now, you will see that this minus 2 multiplied by minus 3 becomes plus 6, which is already there. It means our equation is correct. Now, in this two term is separated by a minus, and in both of them x minus 3 is common. So take x minus 3 common, and here x minus 2 will be there. Now this is the factorization of x square minus 5x plus 6. This is just a factorization. If you want to find the roots of the equation or where it cuts x-axis, you have to go and equate this to 0. Because equating it to 0, you are saying that the value of y is 0. It means that this is, I'm talking about x-axis. You have to understand a into b is 0 only when either a is 0 or b is 0. Therefore, multiplication of this two is 0, which means either x minus 3 is equals to 0, or, remember this is or, x minus 2 is equals to 0, which means either x is equals to 3 or x is equals to 2. Which means that for this question, my roots are 2 and 3. If I try to draw, I know this is my laughing graph or smiling. Why? Because the value of a, you can see here, it is 1. So this part, I know it will be 6. This part will be 2. This part will be 3. In this way, we find the roots of the equation. Hope this is clear. I'll try to solve another question for you guys. Suppose if I take x square plus 5x minus 14, and I just have to factorize it. Now I am not interested in finding the roots, just the factors. X square I am going to write as it is, minus 14 I am going to write as it is. I know my 5 has to be split into two parts such that the addition is 5 plus 5 and the multiplication is a into c. So a is 1, c is minus 14, so it should be minus 14. Since I know that the multiplication is minus, so my number cannot be minus minus, it cannot be plus plus. It has to be 1 plus and 1 minus. Correct? Therefore, I have to start with a number greater than 6. So I can take one number as 6 and one number as 1. And I know that 6 minus 1 is 5. But 6 into 1 is 6. So I can again go and increase it like 7 and 2, because the difference I'm always trying to keep between these two numbers is 5. So 6 minus 1 is 5, but here multiplication 7 2s are 14. So I can write here plus 7x and minus 2x. Again, take this two term and take common as x inside x plus 7. Whatever is written here, just go and write it here, x plus 7. To make minus 2x, I have to multiply it by minus 2. And you see minus 2 into 7 becomes minus 14. Now x plus 7 will be common and x minus 2. So for x squared minus 5x minus 14, x plus 7 and x minus 2 are the factors of this. Now factors means that, see, if you multiply these two back again, you will get the same value, x squared plus 4x minus 14. Factors means that if you divide this quadratic equation by x plus 7, the remainder will be 0. Or if you divide this by x minus 2, the remainder will be 0. So hope you are understanding factorization. I'll solve few more questions on factorization. I'll take x square plus 18x plus 81. If you look into this question, the rule is again x square plus 81 as it is. 18 you have to break up into two numbers such that their addition is 18 and multiplication is 81. It looks very pretty that all of them are plus, so my answer has to be in plus and plus only. Okay, and it should be such that both the number will be smaller than 18. So I can start with 17 1, 16 2. So those kind of hit and trial you can do it. It looks pretty easy that it will be 9x plus 9x, add up to 18, 9 9s are 81. Again, take this two, x is common, x plus 9. Whatever you are writing here, write it here. Try to bring plus 9x by writing plus 9, 9 9s are 81. X plus 9 is common, and here also x plus 9 is common. This is the way you factorize this to here. Okay. Now the fourth one. See, right now we are trying to take all those examples where value of a, b, c all are non-zero. Now I'll try to take an equation where the value of c I am going to put it 0, like x square minus 5x, and I have to factorize this. Since c is 0, the value of a I can clearly say is 1 and b is minus 5. Just see what is common here. X is common. So inside x minus 5, that's all. It's factorized. So you don't have to do anything much when c is 0. Okay. I'll take one more example to show you. Question number 5. Suppose if I say 2x square minus 18x. So I can say that in this quadratic equation, the value of a is 2 and b is minus 18 and c is 0 because there is no constant. You take 2x common, so inside x minus 9. This is factorization. You can put this in bracket like this. This is the whole done. If you want, you can write like this as 2x minus 0 or x minus 9. It's the same thing. Okay, this is correct, this is correct. I'll take one more example to show this. Suppose if the quadratic equation is written like this, 5x minus 2x square. Don't worry about it. It's just still quadratic equation. It's just what they have written. They have changed the term and they have written the x term first and x square term later on. The first thing remember is arrange them in decreasing order. Always try to make in this way so that it looks clearly that it's a quadratic equation. Take minus 2x common. Instead of that, take just x common. So inside minus 2x plus 5. This is the whole factorization. That's all. So we have seen factorization where c is 0. Okay. Hope this makes sense. Now we will see factorization where b is equals to 0. For this, you must have encountered one formula into your lower grades when you are in MYP4 or 3. A square minus B square can be written as A plus B or A minus B. So I'll take one quadratic equation, example number 7. Suppose if I am saying x square minus 9. So here I can say that this is a quadratic equation with A as 1, B as 0 and C as minus 9. I know 9 is a magical number, which is like a square of 3. So I can write this one as x square minus 3 square. And using the formula, above formula, I can write this one as a plus b, which is x plus 3 and x minus 3. That's all. So you can see that when b is equals to 0, how do we factorize these equations? I'll take one more example. Suppose it is x square minus 1. Now, in this you see the value of a is 1, b is 0 and c is minus 1. Whenever b is 0, remember you have to use this a square minus b square. It can be used, okay? So you can see, you can write this one as x square minus 1 square. You keep on increasing the power in 1, it will always be 1. Again the same formula, a plus b, a minus b. I'll try to see one more example. Suppose it is something like this, 4x square minus 9y square. This does not come under quadratic equation, I think. Okay, so I'll try to do what? I'll just take 4x square minus 9. So here again you can say the value of a is 4, b is 0 and c is minus 9. You can write this as 2x whole square. See, 2x whole square, why I am writing, I am teaching this in indices also, that the 2 power of 2 whole square. It means this square will be there for both these terms. Okay, so 2 square is 4, x square minus 3 square. Again, a square minus b square can be termed as a plus b and a minus b. Okay. One more example I am going to take. Now look this one carefully. If I write something like x to the power 4 minus 1. Now it looks in the first instance that this is not a quadratic equation, and I accept that this is not a quadratic equation because this is a power 4, but you can definitely solve this. How you can do it? You can write this one as x square whole square minus 1 whole square. Understand, this x square is term a for you. So it's a square minus b square, which you can write as a plus b and a minus b. Correct? Now this term will be written as it is, but this term can be written as x square minus 1 square. Again, it can be further factorized as x plus 1 and x minus 1. So this way we go and we solve different factorization of quadratic equation with a cannot be 0, with b as 0 and c is 0 and a non-zero. Guys, hope this makes sense. We will meet next class and see how to do factorization by formula method.